Hey everybody. Um, I want to talk about dyslexia and I want to talk off the cuff. So I'm not here to upset people who are dyslexic, and I'm not trying to upset people who don't understand dyslexia. I just want to, I guess, not only put my feelings out. Being a dyslexic all my life, I was one of the lucky ones to have been born in a family that most of my family, mom and dad and grandparents, all have dyslexia. And it never was fully understood what it was at the time when they were growing up. And most of the time, it really wasn't understood when I was growing up either. Um, People who have dyslexia, okay, one of the things I can tell you is, when you're reading a lot and you get tired, like when you're in school and you have to read a whole chapter or whatever to yourself because they tell you to read to yourself, and then they tell you to read it out loud after you've been doing that for whatever because you're supposed to read that subject. um a dyslexic person could care less whether you whether they make mistakes, and they don't like the fact that the kids are laughing at them, but they understand why they're laughing at them. It doesn't upset the kid as much as it upsets the teacher, knowing that the other students are laughing at them. So they then try to correct that, and instead of explaining to the other students that this person has this type of problem, let them read out loud, because the same way you read out loud, it's going to help them the same way it helps you to learn. It just takes them a little bit longer because they're looking at the pages. Okay, they've been looking at the page for like, or they are even nervous the same way they get nervous when they're um anything. You need to take a test, you're nervous. And it's not the nervousness that causes them to have problems. It's the way their brain is wired. Okay? It's just wired this way, and I don't care, um no amount of trying to teach me how to say that letter A or what, I think it was like the letter B. Um they say we have problems understanding the smaller letters. We really don't have problems understanding the small letters. Um, you're so upset that we're not learning them, that you're not telling us, well, the B's pointing this way, because honestly, we are seeing it that way. It's just that we may be seeing the D at the same time we're seeing the B. Does that make any sense? I don't know how else to explain that to you. Um, what happens is that in dyslexia, um, you're looking at a letter, okay, and we're both looking at letters, right? Okay, and you're thinking I'm seeing it backwards because I tell you it's this one when it's actually this one. I'm not seeing it backwards. I'm actually seeing it like this. Does that make sense? So if you want me to understand that the letter I'm pointing at is going the wrong way, then it's not that I'm seeing the letter backwards. I'm actually seeing the little d instead of seeing the letter B. And it is so hard to explain that to people. They think I'm seeing the thing backwards. When your numbers are getting jumbled up, I'm not like, you're going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, okay? And I might have said when I'm reading it 1, 6, 7, 8, 12. I don't know, like that. It's because I'm seeing further ahead than you are. Even though I'm looking straight at what I'm supposed to be looking at, I'm seeing further ahead. Does that make sense? And so when you're trying to teach a child to read, the reason they're having a hard time reading is because they may be reading the second line, even though they're looking at the line you're looking at. They may be seeing the second line, and it's that way in when I speak too. Sometimes, like when you see us writing or typing something out, if you have a dyslexic person that's writing, their brain is like up here, and they're trying to write what's here. See, their brain's up here, and they're trying to write what's down here. And that's why they have problems with their letters, like when they're spelling. You may find out that they put the E where in front of the letter it wasn't supposed to be. That's why it's there. And no matter trying to tell me that this is what it's supposed to look like, isn't going to work. Now, what does have to happen is after you've looked at the paper form and kind of corrected some of it, which was nice. I really appreciate it because I've always been around people that I have to have a proofreader. If I'm going to write something, I don't need you to proofread it for content or how I wrote it, okay? I need you to tell me if I put a letter in the wrong place. The machines today still can't do that. It does help some with like Google or whatever, and I ask how to spell that word, but I probably won't remember that probably right after I wrote that. I won't remember it. It's not that I'm not remembering. My brain's already gone to the next level, to the next place. Dyslexics are really good at working, like doing jobs, because they're thinking already up here, and you're still back here. Does that make sense? They're thinking up here, and you're still back here, and that's why they actually make good. They make really good supervisors, because number one, they've had to put up with all this nonsense growing up with the people trying to be nice to them, or people just don't want to put up with it. For me, when I was going through junior high school and grade school, high school a little bit, which they don't even do anymore in high school. They just tell you have an A&E or whatever it's called, and you don't get it no more because the government doesn't want to pay for your problem on Social Security. So they basically kind of take it away and say that there's nothing wrong with you all of a sudden. But it's not going to go away. It's like, I'm going to say the words wrong, ADHD, hyper. Basically, it's kind of like my husband, the way he is. He's hyper, not hyper, okay, but he gets excited about things. He gets excited about the moment. His voice raises. He gets a little bit more scared about something that's going on. That's ADHD. That's the way they are. And just because you turned 18 doesn't mean it goes away. It stays there. So there's a lot of different things. My big problem now is that the people they call the woke are now starting to how do you put it, focus on dyslexia. First it was ADHD, now it's dyslexia. Any word before it was called not before. Oh gosh. See, I can't even remember these words anymore. And I don't have it written down either. But you guys know what I'm trying to say. they're focusing on all these diseases, and then they go out and get teachers to teach all these people. But the problem is they don't understand the problem, and they're just trying to teach you the same old freaking way. We're ahead of you. That's all there is to it. We're ahead of you. Try teaching us the right way. Ask us. What are you seeing? What's happening? Oh, I remember my mom used to try to take and put. She wrote she took a piece of paper. Oh my gosh, it's a piece of paper. Trying to get me to read the words right. So she took a piece. Oh my gosh! Now all of a sudden I got no paper. She took a piece of paper and would take in I want you to pretend like this is cut out, okay? So this is just to let you know. This would be cut out where it says, right here where it says cat. That's cut out. And she'd put it over. We're going to call this a book. Let's just say this is our book. And she would take this piece of paper and put it over the letter. Well, let me just cut it out. I'll show you what. You're probably already getting the idea, but let me take a second to cut this out. I know you're not seeing me cut it out because my camera is too close to me, and I could set it backwards. I'm not going to. Now, I have throughout my years learned, if you're trying to figure out how you can help these people that are dyslexic. My mom tried all kinds of things because everybody in my family is pretty much dyslexic. Oh my gosh, I cut the other layer out. Anyway, this is what she'd do. She put the whole sentence. I might get that word sooner or later. So guess what? It's got the word dyslexic. It's got the word deluxe there, right? The problem is I'm dyslexic. So I might take that E and put it where that U is. Now, try to read it. Yeah. That's how confusing it is. That's why they have problems reading if you just... And I have found out that, watch me next time and find out how correct that. And we'll talk more about dyslexia. Bye.